People ask me all the time, Toby, why do you get up at 4 a.m.? Why do you get up acting as if the world is on fire? And I share with them, it's the way I was raised. I grew up on a dairy farm. I grew up on a farm that required responsibilities and duties. See, we had 45 head of cattle that had to be taken care of 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And that started, those 45 head of cattle believed that character development starts at 4 a.m. There was no hitting the snooze alarm. In fact, the snooze alarm was Bossy, the head cow, that said, if you don't get up, get your butt out of bed, we're both going to have a bad day. See, you have to understand that the life of a kid on the farm is tremendously different than the life of a kid in the city. See, a city kid says, oh, I have chores to do. I have to make my bed every morning. And I say, that's really cute, because while you're tucking in the sheets, I'm elbow deep inside a cow trying to bring life to the world. While you're taking out the trash, I'm trying to dodge a psychotic rooster who's not letting me get to feed the baby calves because he wakes up every day, says, not on my watch are you going to cross my path without me spurring the snot out of you. City kids have cute little pets like golden retrievers. I had a psychotic rooster who his best friend was an 1,800-pound bull that with horns that looked and felt like they were razor sharp, and neither one of them liked me. I would be out bringing those cows in at 4 a.m, pitch black, a headlight that barely worked. And I think it was part of the conspiracy with the rooster and the bull, because the minute the rooster would start crowing, the light would go out and the bull would start running at me. And as a 10-year-old, this is how I grew up, and these are the challenges I faced. City kids came to school each and every morning and they smelled like fabric softener. I came to school every morning and I had this aroma of manure and diesel. People would say, did somebody bring a petting zoo to school? I said, nah, that's just me. That's just the way I live. These are the differences. City kids would say, you know, I got in trouble and I had to do timeout and no TV for the day. And my parents were upset with me. And I'd say, that's really cute, because this morning we had a cow down. She had cut her belly trying to climb through a fence. And my dad is having to sew her belly up in the dark. And I'm holding this flashlight while I'm watching for a psychotic rooster and a mean bull, and being yelled at by my dad because the light's not in the right exact spot. Any of you all ever held a flashlight for your parents when they're trying to work on something? It's never in the right spot. But put yourself in this situation where it's pitch black. You got a psychotic rooster who's got your name tattooed on his spurs. You got a big 1,800-pound bull that really doesn't like you either. And your dad is yelling because the light is not exactly where he wants it. Yeah, this was my life. Every day. City kids would get all excited. They would bring home these permission slips to go on a field trip. Hey, Mom, hey, Dad, we're going on a field trip. And the next thing I know, and they're going on a field trip to a ranch, to a farm, to see cows and to see animals. And they're so excited. And the next thing I know, the bus is pulling up into my driveway and I'm the exhibit. Our cows, I'm like, this is not a field trip. This is my life. There's a difference. But when you understand the difference in the character and the development that takes place, people ask me why I go so hard. It's all I know. When you as an adult come to me because you're facing divorce, you're facing financial distraught, you're facing life situations, you don't like your job, you don't like your career, you don't like this, I say, too bad. See, the problem was you grew up with no character. You grew up with no backbone. You grew up with no fortitude. You don't know what it means to persevere. As a 10-year-old kid, one of my most amazing life skills was how to run across the pasture. Running straight for a 5-foot barbed wire fence that had 5 rows of barbed wire, and each one was 1 foot apart. There was no way going through it. There was no way going over it. And I had a mean, ugly bull chasing me down. And the skill set that I learned was how to get just right, just close enough, and slide underneath it and pop up on the other side. Those are real life challenges. And when I hear that life is tough, and I hear that people want to give up, I laugh. I've been through trials and tribulations as a child, as a young adult, and as an older adult. And the one thing I can tell you is because of that lifestyle on that farm and ranch, I was able to persevere, able to look at the adversity, understanding that the reason why I got up at 4 o'clock every morning was because I had responsibilities and duties and obligations, and there was no way to forego them. There was no way to just say, not today, I'm just going to take a vacation. It wasn't an option. As a kid, our vacations were to take the tractor down to the local creek. All 6, 7 of us would climb on this tractor. It was about 2 miles down the dirt road. And we would go down there, and there was a bucket on the front of the tractor. And we would lift it up about 6, 7 feet off the ground. And we'd climb up in that bucket, and we'd dive into this creek. That was our afternoon off. When I hear people tell me, hey, I just can't get up today, or I just couldn't do that assignment today, or I just couldn't put any more hours in, I laugh. See, you really don't want success. You really don't know what it means to persevere. You really don't know what it means to achieve greatness through strife. If you really want to know what running for your life is like, just picture a 10-year-old kid that weighs about 57 pounds running through a dark pasture with a mean, psychotic rooster hunting him down that came out of nowhere. Carrying a bucket of feed, hoping not to spill it, because if I spilt it, it means I got to go back to my dad to get more, and then I got to explain to him this little 1.5-foot rooster that weighed about 7.5 pounds whooped my ass. And it just wasn't an option. See, we all have these dilemmas. We all have these trials, these tribulations, this life. The difference is, are you built, are you wired for success, or are you settling for mediocrity? That's the difference. What do you want? And if you want more and you don't know how, then I suggest you give me a call. Because see, I've been there, I've done that, and I know how to help you. You have greatness within you. You have power within you. You have passion within you. And maybe you don't recognize it. Maybe you don't realize it. Maybe you do. You just don't know how. This is where you need to give us a call. Because we can guide, direct, and ignite that within you to show you the greatness that you have. Maybe you didn't grow up on a dairy farm, and maybe that is your dilemma. Maybe you don't know what you don't know, and that's okay. Because I guarantee you, you were made and created by the same God that I was. You were given the same passion, the same talents, the same purpose as I was. The difference is I recognized it, saw it, evolved it, and developed it at an early age. you still don't know what you don't know. So I challenge you. If you want greatness, give me a call. If you want to stay where you're at, float through life, settle for nothing, then don't call me. But if you're ready to achieve, to overcome, to have fulfillment and a life of wealth, now's the time to make a decision. Because see, the decisions that you make will shape your life. But the life that you want must shape your decisions. Jeremiah 29:11 says, I know the plans I have for you, the plans to prosper you, not to harm you. You have these same promises. You have this same entitled opportunity. If you're serious, now's the time to make a decision. Let's get together, let's discuss it, and let's watch your life transform into greatness. Thank you.